It was a crisp, vibrant evening in Nnedinma, a small, close-knit village alive with the spirit of Christmas. The village square was the epicenter of the festivities, adorned with colorful decorations that glimmered under the soft glow of twinkling lights. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter, rhythmic drumming, and the lively tunes of traditional instruments, blending into a symphony of joy and unity. The community had gathered for the Obudo event, a grand celebration of culture and family, marked by intricate dances and spirited cultural displays. The atmosphere buzzed with energy as the villagers, young and old, reveled in the occasion. At the edge of the square stood Nnedinma, a spirited young woman of 19. Her wide eyes scanned the crowd, drinking in the sights and sounds of the celebration. She carried herself with a mix of determination and awe, her slim frame burdened by a large bag slung across her back and another heavy one held tightly in her hand. Nnedinma had defied her father's warnings and resisted the allure of urban life to visit her grandmother, Neochi, in the village. For a moment, she hesitated, her heart pounding with both excitement and nervousness. The energy of the square called to her, but she wasn't sure where to start. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, the rhythm of the drums pulling her closer. In the center of the square, a group of dancers moved in perfect harmony, their bodies swaying to the beat of traditional drums. The sight mesmerized Nnedinma, her earlier hesitation melting away. She stood transfixed, a small smile tugging at her lips as she watched the graceful performers. Suddenly, a tap on her shoulder jolted her from her reverie. She turned quickly, startled, to find a young man smiling warmly at her. He looked to be in his early 20s, with a lean frame and an air of confidence. He had been one of the drummers, his hands still slightly dusted with the residue of the drum's surface. "You look lost," he said, his voice friendly and inviting. "Are you here to join in the festivities, or are you looking for someone?" Nnedinma hesitated, her shyness surfacing. Both," she replied softly. "I'm here for someone as well as the event." The young man chuckled, his grin widening. "Well, your face is unfamiliar and your bags give you away as a visitor. What is your name?" "I'm Nnedinma," she said, her voice gaining a little confidence. "What are you called?" "I am called Udoji," he replied, "from the Eziugo clan." Nnedinma nodded, a shy smile playing on her lips. There was something disarming about Udoji's presence. "Who then did you come to visit?" he asked, his tone curious. "My grandmother, Neochi, from the Ozala clan," Nnedinma answered. Udoji's face lit up in recognition. "Oh, Neochi, I know her very well. She adores me too," he said with a hint of pride. "But since you like the event so much, I'll stay with you and take you home when you wish to go." Relieved and grateful, Nnedinma smiled. "Thank you. I've never seen anything like this before. What's happening here?" "This is an Obudo event," Udoji explained, gesturing to the festivities around them, "a celebration of our culture and traditions. It's a time for joy and togetherness, for honoring our ancestors and connecting with our roots. Usually, a family with many affluent members organizes it for their elderly relatives." Nnedinma's eyes widened with wonder. "Could my grandmother be among them?" she asked eagerly. Udoji shook his head gently. "No," he said. "This particular event is meant for another family whose elderly members are very old. It's simply a way for them to celebrate while their elders are still alive." Nnedinma pondered his words for a moment. "So, when we're ready as a family, we can organize this type of celebration for my grandmother?" "Of course," Udoji said with a reassuring smile. "And I know Neochi will truly appreciate it." "It's beautiful," Nnedinma said, her voice filled with admiration. "I wish I could join in." "Why not?" Udoji asked with a playful grin. "Come, I'll show you." Without hesitation, he reached for her bags, relieving her of their weight, and extended a hand. Nnedinma hesitated for a brief moment before taking it. Together, they moved deeper into the square, the sounds of drums and laughter enveloping them. As they danced and laughed alongside the other villagers, Nnedinma felt a profound sense of belonging she had never experienced before. The warmth of the celebration, the kindness of Udoji, and the vibrant spirit of her ancestral home filled her heart with joy and connection. For Nnedinma, this was more than a festive event. It was the beginning of a journey to rediscover her roots and herself. The evening air was cool and still, a stark contrast to the lively village square. Inside her modest home, Naochi sat in the faint glow of a flickering lantern, her wrinkled hands fidgeting with the small torchlight phone on her lap. At 68, she carried the grace and wisdom of her years, but tonight, her heart was heavy with worry. She glanced at the screen again, her brow furrowed with concern. Nnedinma, her beloved granddaughter, was supposed to have arrived by now. "But Chaik told me she was meant to be here by now," Naochi muttered aloud, her voice tinged with unease. What could be keeping her? Did she lose her way? Or did something happen? She paused, her gaze lifting to the ceiling. May the gods of my fathers protect her. Suddenly, movement outside caught her attention. Rising from her seat, she peered through the window. Her eyes widened in relief as she saw Nnedinma approaching, hand in hand with a young man she didn't immediately recognize. Without hesitation, Naochi hurried to the door, her heart swelling with gratitude. As Nnedinma stepped inside, Naochi enveloped her in a tight embrace, her voice trembling with emotion. "My dear child, you had me worried sick," she exclaimed, pulling back to study Nnedinma's face. "But seeing you here, safe and sound, fills my heart with joy. Thank you, Udoji, for bringing her home. For a while, I thought maybe you had lost your way to the village." Udoji, standing respectfully at the threshold, nodded with a modest smile. His demeanor was calm, but there was a spark of pride in his eyes. "It was my pleasure, Ma," he said warmly. "Immediately I found out who she was, I felt obligated to help. Nnedinma is like family to me, and I would do anything to ensure her happiness and safety." Naochi's face softened further, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You did very well, Udoji. May the gods continue to bless you, as you are like the son I never had. Unlike Chaiki, my son, Nnedinma's father, who should have brought her home safely." "Don't worry, Grandma," Nnedinma said with a light laugh, sensing her grandmother's frustration. "I'm a big girl now. Besides, my dad is busy with his church retreat, so he hardly has time for me." Naochi sighed, shaking her head. "Nothing comes between him and his church activities," she murmured. Then, turning to Udoji, she added, "Udoji, stay for dinner with us. At least, let me thank you properly for your help." Udoji hesitated, a hint of conflict flickering across his face. "Thank you, Ma, but I have to run home now. I need to wake up very early and go to Ibulo to inform Anyandu the priestess about your presence, so you both can do your ndu." Before he could finish, Naochi tapped him sharply on the arm. "Keep quiet, Udoji," she snapped, her voice firm but not unkind. "Do not speak of what you're not asked to speak of." Nnedinma, sensing something unusual, looked between them curiously. "What was he talking about, Mama? Is there something you need me to do for you?" "I'm here now, and I'll do anything you ask." Naochi's expression softened again as she placed a reassuring hand on Nnedinma's shoulder. "Don't worry, my dear child," she said gently. "You're here to rest and enjoy the season's celebrations with me, nothing more." Then, turning to Udoji, she added with a touch of finality, "And you, Udoji, sit down and join us for dinner now." Though reluctant, Udoji obeyed, settling into a chair at the small wooden table. The room soon filled with the aroma of freshly cooked yam porridge and spicy vegetable stew. As they gathered around the table, the warmth of family and shared stories wrapped around them like a comforting blanket. The sound of distant drums filtered in through the open windows, a reminder of the ongoing celebration in the square. Nnedinma leaned back in her chair, her heart swelling with a newfound sense of belonging. As laughter and conversation filled the room, she realized that this village, once a distant place of uncertainty, had become her home. The festive sounds of drums and music continued late into the night, mingling with the echoes of love, culture, and community. This Christmas, she thought, would be one she would never forget.